my family. Ups and downs, wrong or right, this family. They think that we crazy. They say that we crazy, can't handle it. My back on the wall, who I'ma call my family? We different, we stick out, wig out, bug out, pop out, hop out, ball out, show out.
Aight, this a party, let's not make a problem.
No,
Why you looking at me like it's something? You should know it's not just me that you'll be rubbing. Wrong way, so you better think twice. You shouldn't mess with me. You don't wanna mess with me. Cause if you mess with me, you're messing with my family. You shouldn't mess with me. You don't wanna mess with me. Cause if you mess with me, you're messing with my family. You might think that we are all local. But this family back to the global. We blown up.
En mi familia ese problema no jugamos. Y si hay party esta mañana celebramos. Si te dicen que estamos locos, locos estamos. Y en las buenas y en las malas nos quedamos. No traicionamos.
Aight, this a party, let's not make a problem. Why you looking at me like it's something? You should know it's not just me that you'll be rubbing. Wrong way, so you better think twice. You shouldn't mess with me. You don't wanna mess with me. Cause if you mess with me, you're messing with my family. You shouldn't mess with me. You don't wanna mess with me. Cause if you mess with me, you're messing with my family. Messing with my family. La familia.
Don't mess with my family.
You might think that we are all local. But this family back to the global.
They say that we mean, they say that we rude. They say we got problems, but we say it's cool. Family, family, I go to war with my family. Ups and downs, wrong or right, this family.
You might think that we are all local.
Don't mess with my family.
But this family back to the global.
And I mean, like you said, and you have written how many books you got now?
7.
7. And
7.
one movie.
One movie.
And you're working on
2 more.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 more. Yeah.
Now, I mean, and after you wrote the first one, it just kept flowing for you. So how long did it take you to write the first one?
So like I said, I started on Thanksgiving, and I think by the end of the school year, because back then, I wasn't doing all the little extra stuff that I learned later on. So I wasn't typing my stuff up. I was handwriting it, and I'll give it to people to type it up. Then they'll send it back, and then I had to keep going through people. My wife and her moms are both English teachers in the school system. So they would go through and edit and tell me different things. So I was constantly rewriting stuff. So then once that was over, it ended up being about 6 months to get that final version of Secrets, the Housewife together. More Secrets, More Lies, part 2 was already done, so I didn't have to worry about that. So I immediately got to writing Naughty Little Angel. That's a story about a guy who baby moms dropped the baby off on his doorsteps to raise. And, as he's going through raising her, he started to realize that all these women want to deal with him now because they look at him in a certain way. So his daughter grew up thinking her body was her only asset. So she turns to the streets. Now he got to save her. But I wrote that in probably like 3 months, because I still had my job and I still was teaching and doing lessons. So I couldn't really devote. But once I got into the central office and I had a set time and I didn't have to do grades and all that, I could crank out a book probably in a 2-month span now. So I'm pretty fast now, because I could type it all up, or I could talk it into my actual monitor and it'll type it all up for me. So it's just the back and forth with the editing and cleaning it all up. But the story thing doesn't take long. Yeah.
And again, as far as writing the story, are any or have any of your stories ever been part of something that you've been a part of?
So always remember that this is a fictional book. All right. All characters are fictitious. You know what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying, that there is no real life basis to any of these stories. Now, it's so funny because when I'm doing interviews or when I'm out doing book signings and stuff, women come to me all the time like, I know somebody just like that. And I'm thinking to myself, if you know somebody like this character, you need to change friends, really. You really need to change friends. Oh, no. You must have gone through this stuff must have happened to you. I'm like, nah, baby, look, this is about to be year 26 of my marriage. Me and my wife is fine. Ain't none of these little things going on. Ain't no breakups, ain't no fight dropping on nobody. So I understand the concept. So the stories, and I tell folks all the time just to have fun with. You know, the story is about a lot of my brothers in my blue and white, but I changed their names because I don't feel like paying them royalties. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know who it is because there's so many of them. They don't know which one is the actual story about. But then I use that line with everybody else too, bro. I use it on my football team. I use it in the teachers. Yeah, this story about my school I worked at, you know, but I changed the names just so people will be like, man, I got to go read this book to see if
So basically what he just told y'all is, thank y'all for helping them make this money, but you ain't getting paid a dime.
Yeah, no royalty checks, baby. No royalty checks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, man, it's oh, I can't find it. But I had a couple of questions about a couple of your readers had sent some questions when I told them I had you coming on, and it was about two of your characters in the first book. Shoot, I can't think of it. I misplaced it. I can't think of it.
So
but
you
it
got
was
Victoria, you got Tehran, you know, so it all depends on who you're thinking about. Secret was the main character, the wife in it.
Okay. It was the fact of how did you, the question was based on how did you come up with what was your motivation to make Secret the way she was?
I didn't want to, I wanted to keep the true character of a strong Black woman, but I still wanted to show the vulnerability of a Black woman. So, you know, we always pushing that strong Black woman, you know, she doesn't need a man and all these things. I didn't want that to be a part of my adding to as the book came out. So I wanted to keep her somewhat in that figure that most society sees Black women, but at the same time, I wanted to show how vulnerable that they can and what happens when they open up. And then I wanted to build on a part of the relationship and understanding how strong a relationship is. Even though somebody might have messed up, you know, there are ways to come back from that as well. And then sometimes it's things that you might can't overcome, but it was just trying to build a character of someone. And that's the thing that I had to learn. And I took classes on understanding how to build a character, because I was really quick to just throw people in there and people couldn't connect to them in my first writings. But as I got better with it and as the edits started to change, then you started to find those characters that either you loved or that you hated, the ones you rooted for or you rooted against. So I think I tried to stay true to that as I started to build my characters out.
Okay, and the question is, as far as, is it easier to write for the hero or the main heroine in the story, or is it easier to write for that villain or that bad person? It just, well, nobody expect that from, which is easier to write for?
I think they're about the same. The hardest thing is to keep that reader engaged, you know? So I had to learn that when I started to close chapters out, I had to leave breadcrumbs, hints, little things that'll make you not want to put the bed on your dresser and go to bed, but to go, oh, I got to find out what happened and keep on reading. Or if they picked your book up in the bookstore that they started reading and they go, oh, I gotta buy this book because I want to know what happens into it. I think engaging and keeping the reader engaged is the hardest part. And then not going too over the top where, you know, it's funny because once a reader get into you and they will give you their feedback and they'll let you know how they feel in one way or the other. So making sure that once you got your niche in whatever writing you have, is that you keep meeting their demands, because they're looking for so many things out of you as you continue on. in your process of writing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cause we found proof of that at the reunion piece, because when Brother Spider grabbed your book and Spider read the first paragraph of the book, it's about, yeah, this is how the book started off. Yeah. I see y'all about 30 minutes. I'm gonna go on the back.
Yeah, that was a trick I learned from hanging out with a lot of the authors, going up to New York and things like that. They were always saying, listen, there's a lot of books on these shelves. So a really good book reader will open your book up and they will stand there and they will knock out a chapter or two, maybe even 3 chapters. And then they'll put the book back if it's not catching them. So they were saying, so Jay, once you get into writing like this for real, you really want to make sure those first 3 chapters are hot. So when they pick me up, I try to blow them away as soon as they open the book up. And then I try to hold them as long as I can and ride that ride all the way through. So I learned that real early in life. Yeah.
So yeah, tell us a bit about your new project, and again, give us some background with why Jay Tremble.
Yeah, so Jay Tremble, it was just my author, my publisher was like, so what name do you want to use? Because I know you don't want to use your real name, things like that. I was like, okay. So we was throwing around names and I was like, oh man, this is real hard. I got to go by a name that I'm going to always use. They was like, well, what do you want readers to do when they read your book? I was like, I just want the ladies to tremble, you know? She was like, oh, I like that, tremble. Oh, okay, I like that, but we need something in front of it. I was like, okay, well, they just need to tremble. She was like, oh, just tremble. Okay. I was like, okay, just use J. That way we can play off the J with different terms and stuff. So that's how Jay Tremble came about. And it separated me from what I was doing professionally to this new project of writing erotica. So I've been doing that for quite a while. So my first one was dropped in 2006. I'm constantly dropping out books, taking little breaks in between, but working the school system, I realized that we're not represented enough. So I lost my son a few years back, and my grandbaby, I wanted to find a way that I could connect with her and keep him going and bring something back to that's missing in our community. So I decided to think of a project that I can do with her. And I realized being in math, it's a fear of math with everyone. So I'm trying to figure out how to implement math with our young children growing up. So I decided to come up with a project for a series of math books that worked on African-American culture and connected to math to make it easier for parents to interact with their children. So the word Tinkadink, you know, because I call her, you know, little Stinkadink and all that. So I didn't want the character to be named Tinkadink. Stinkadink. So I changed it to Tinkadink. And I was like, okay, that'll be my character's name. I used her likeness and had it, you know, all the water creatures because she loves the water. So she got a little mermaid body, seahorse tail, little fins and all that, unicorn on her head, all that type of stuff. So I used that character. So now we're basing a series off of her character. So like titles like Tinkadink hunts for 2D shape, hunts for 3D shape. Tinkadink learns to add, Tinkadink learns to count. So all these little books, once I get an illustrator to finish off the material, so I'm cranking out books right now, and hopefully this will be a series that'll take it from kindergarten all the way to grade 5. Okay. So they'll work on those math concepts, and in the back of the book, it'll have the key words, the definitions, little activities that parents can do with their children, you know, counting buildings, counting signs, looking for patterns that they see happening in real world settings. So there'll be different activities for them to do. So hopefully that'll catch on. So that's one of the activities. Another one was social emotional learning. That's a big thing for us. Our children, you know, missed a year and a half of being at home. Right. So a lot of them didn't grow socially. They don't know how to interact with each other. So bullying is getting out of control. You know, peer pressure, anxiety, all these different things with social and emotional learning, just how to talk with one another, play with one another. So I'm thinking of a series based off of social emotional learning will come from that as well. The third series will be more on the physical health of us. So dental hygienist book, Lauren and Snow, first dental visit. So her and a little dog will bring it in. So I'm gonna try to have a 3-type series based off of her. And this will be something. So even when I'm gone, she'll have these things to remember and hold on to us. Her dad is going to be included in a lot of the pictures and things like that. So she'll always have that relationship with him as well. And then hopefully we can spin it around and I can get in, because I know books are wonderful, but the screen is where the money is.
Yes, sir.
I want her to take care of herself later on. So we're going to try to spin a nice little cartoon where her little figure, since she has all these water parts, every time the water hits the figure, whatever the child is doing, it becomes real life. So get the idea of a child is in a tub playing with race cars, and all of a sudden, once Tinkerbell hits the water, boom, they transform in their IndyCar 500 in an actual race against adults going around the track, you know. So whatever you're doing, once Tinkerbell gets wet, it transforms you to do that in real life. So I got a different lot of projects, baby, but this is just for the kids. So it'll be G-Goat, Lauren and her G-Goat, because that's what we go by. So baby girl is Lauren, I'm her G-Goat, greatest grandfather of all time. It's copywritten, so I don't want to hear no, that's my G-Goat. No, try to spell my name. I'm not Pop, I'm not, granddaddy, none of that. I'm G-Goat. So when we out about and she say, hey, G-Goat, I'm the only one that turned around. That's right. Greatest grandfather of all time. That's right.
Hey, well, look, once again, T has struck. I got that already. So can't nobody else use it.
That's right. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And I mean, I say, man, that goes to show again the way that you can expand, adjust, and you have not only, like I said, not only from writing wise, but like I say, in dealing with people, man, you have and again, that's what I'm saying, you have a way of, when you are in tune with somebody, they know it and they feel it. And again, your thing goes from being, all right, yeah, I know I called you. I know I talked about you and said you was back when Moses was pledging, you was pledging with him, but I understand you going through something right now, and I want to be there for you, brother, because I love you. And that's the realism of, look here, man, I'm gonna get you, but I'm here for you. I want you to understand that, and I thank you for that, because you have always made that be known, where if I don't, again, that's what I tell people, if I don't talk about you, then you don't mean nothing.
Yeah, I don't mess with you. That's right. If I don't pick on you, if I don't play with you, if I don't dig on you, because a lot of it is digs just to make you feel better, to get you to improve some stuff that I see that you're worried about, and don't even worry about that type. Let's go ahead and draw a light on and get it out the way. Let's move on. So if I don't dig on you or mess with you, then there's something wrong with it. I ain't gonna deal with you at all. But that's my way. Mom's made it that way for us. I saw that growing up, where she opened up the home to any and everybody that came across that might have needed some support. Once I got married, my mother-in-law was the same way, any kind of way that they can assist somebody. So just from growing up, I've always understood that this is what you need to do if you plan on being successful, and not just successful as far as material things or notoriety and all that, but just successful in your life, where I have peace. I wake up with peace every single day, because I know I'm generous to other people. I ain't got nobody looking for me. I ain't got to worry and all that. I can go anywhere, do anything, because I have peace in my life. And so because of that, I make sure I go out that extra yard for anybody that I come across.
Yeah, and like I say, and again, that goes to show from, like I say, from back, and again, I go back to college for a minute. Let's go ahead and clear these rumors up, man. I want to clear some rumors up right here, T. You, like you said, when people heard you was coming to town, Big Brother Hell was coming through, and we hadn't met you. Yeah, we looking for a 6'4" big buck. Cause when Fruity first came in, before he said his name, he came in the room. We were like, oh man, that must be Big Brother Hell. And then you came out of the corner, that's the dude they call Fruit. Oh, okay, we're gonna see what's going on. And then you talking about, what's up? I'm Hell. I'm Fruity. What the hell?
Never let them see you coming, baby. That's it. Never let them see you coming. That's
we
right.
were so thinking that we knew Big Brother Hell was gonna be like a 6'5", and it's Fruity.
That's right. That's right. And here come this 5'9", 160-pound dude. That's right. With slick curly hair. That's right. That's right. MC Hammer pants back then, baby. I came in there with the look. I wasn't messing around.
The terror coming on. Y'all ain't doing nothing. I'll see y'all in a minute.
That's
Go
right.
somewhere else, come up. Yeah, your frat brother just left here. Why everybody mad? Cause the Negro did this, that, and other. He did.
Yeah. Again. Yeah. So they had the wrong movies on for us growing up. You know, I was watching Animal House. I thought you're supposed to have food fights in the cafeteria. You know, I thought that was regular. You know what I'm saying? I thought you're supposed to take a farm animal and bring it into the university and stuff. I thought this was just regular college stunts. You know what I'm saying? So I watched the wrong things growing up.
See, like you said though, but see, that's the thing about us coming from where we came from, going to these predominantly white colleges. You're like, okay, we saw this on TV. Maybe it's what you're supposed to do.
Hey,
no, you don't do that.
How y'all get down. Hey, this is how y'all get down. This seems normal to y'all. It seems kind of funny to me, but I'm gonna try it. Hey, it is what it is. Just don't throw food at me. You know what I'm saying? So nah, yeah, college was a little different for me, but it set the foundations for me because I use a lot of psychology in my writing. So I've been able to tie a lot of parts of my life into the stuff that I'm doing and plan on doing in the future. So yeah. What were some of the other things from college you had questions about, brother?
Well, like I said, mainly the fact of you being, I mean, again, like I said, it's amazing. You, Benji, D-Shank, Woody. I mean, it was amazing that before y'all, when D-Shank felt like talking, you were looking like, wow, for real. When it came to going doing steps or whatever, D-Shank wasn't backing down from nobody because I can jump with the best of them. You, Woody, and Benji, when it came to just in general, no, ain't nobody better than me. Woody on a scooter and talk more stuff than anybody else.
Right. See, it's characters like that help build and define me. Because I'm looking at this brother like, ain't nothing holding him back. He got multiple sclerosis. He in a wheelchair, can't walk. But he ain't letting that hold him down. He one of the most popular dudes on any yard. He's known throughout the state. You know, if he can do all that, then I have no reasons not to be the best me I can be. So those are the type of things I remember. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, and really, there was no whole lot of myths about you besides the fact that Tiana come in the room, he there for a minute. When he gone, hey,
I had to go get research, baby. Had to go get research for the books. Had to be out. Had to be out on the bout, baby. Had to write stuff down mentally in the head because I knew I was going to be an erotic writer one day, and I had to go get the stories together intact, my brother. Yes, sir.
And I mean, like I say, and you use your degree to the fullest, man. Because like I said, you sit there and you actually consider, you let a brother talk for about a good 5-10 minutes. You're like, I got you. And after blue, hit you with a joke. And when he don't respond right, like, you got that soft skin. So here come another one.
Right. I know who to dig at all the night long, baby. Yeah, you don't want to come back? Oh, okay. I got a target, baby. Yes, sir. But at the end of the day, I'm going to still be your boy because I'm going to flip it around and bring you onto my side eventually. Yes, sir.
But I got to admit, now T, I'm going to go ahead, let it be known, y'all. T got. Big Rod got you in Atlanta. Before we got to Atlanta, Big Rod got you. He did.
Yeah, he did. I had to lay it down, but I reacted differently. See, he caught me when I had a little bit of alcohol and drug studies research going on. So when he came after me, I wasn't ready. I wasn't quick enough to come back because I should have turned that into a better positive and then showing that it had some kind of effect on me. So you're right. He did give me a little bit with that, but it still was a compliment that I really didn't turn it around in my favor for. Yes, sir. But
I'm gonna enjoy it because it was a compliment to me when he broke out and said, "You are CLB." You know what's a CLB? I'm like, Brian, why you call him CLB? That's you right. See some little brother. I said, okay.
And I take that, brother Cecil. That's what I said. I reacted differently when he said it, but I should have flipped it around because right now I'm honored to be Cecil's little brother, man. I'm young in mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm young, you know. You're a well-established brother yourself, so I should have took that a whole different way. I took it as far as my ego thing being I'm somebody's little brother, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, now that I sit back, I'm a little bit more focused, You know, I should have came back with a little faster response, but that was a good one though. Yeah. So every now and then, like I say, you can't give it if you can't take it, baby. So I took that one and now I'm rolling with it, baby. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's a look. It was an honor for me. I was like, oh, when he said like, oh yeah, I can roll with that. Yeah, that's my look. I'm like, yeah, okay. We got to go about 5 minutes. For about 5 minutes.
Jay Tremble is my little brother. That's right. I ain't messing with y'all. Ladies, y'all know Jay Tremble? Yeah, that's my little brother. Yeah.
Hey, no, that's my brother. That's my brother. That's like, and that was funny because even I said at the club, when I asked a couple of women, yeah, I know about him in his books. I say, that's him now. That ain't him. Oh, okay, bet.
You know what? For the longest time, like my first 4 books, I didn't have a picture of me on it. Right, I didn't want any connection with me. So I just had Jay Tremble. So I used to go to book signings and women used to be like, well, you can't be Jay Tremble. Jay Tremble was a female. I was like, no, Jay Tremble was a male. Just look at the inside of the book. It tells you him, his life, he was born, all these things. Well, you can't be Jay Tremble. No, I met Jay Tremble before and all these type of, I'm like, no, baby, I'm serious. Do you see me signing Jay Tremble? Yes, I am Jay Tremble. And then finally, I got a new publicist and the publicist was like, oh, Jay, you're a nice looking guy, man. Let's put your picture on the book. That's going to bring more readers and all this type of stuff. I was like, no, I don't want that type of publicity. No. So then she went on ahead, got the okay from the publishing company and put my picture on one of my books. And it was like, oh, instant. I'd be in the grocery store. Girl, that's him. I'm telling you, that's Jay Tremble. I'm like, please, no, I'm not Jay Tremble. Please, no, you Jay Tremble. Oh, sign my titties, sign my come on, you stop. I was like, oh Lord, I can't have this. And then the little kids, we be on field trips and stuff. Like, Mr. Johnson, why them ladies looking at you with all? Nah, I don't know what they. Are you Jay Tremble? No, that's Mr. Johnson. That's my teacher.
Right. But that's what. Now that was funny. Someone would say, "I've been with Jay Tremble before." Okay.
Yeah, I know that was some of the brothers that I hung out with. Like, they don't know who Jay Tremble is. You say he's Jay Tremble. So it's probably a bunch of brothers like, hey, I'm Jay Tremble. I've been with Jay Tremble. No, you ain't been with no Jay Tremble. Don't be putting my name out there like that. Oh, I've been with Jay Tremble. Nah,
right. That ain't go over there. That ain't Jay Tremble. That ain't no Jay Tremble. That's right.
Yeah, that's somebody else. I don't know who that is. That's funny though.
But okay, now so as far as I say, you just said that when people start seeing your picture and noticing, anything else as far as being an author that has been a real mountain or a real issue to get across?
Yeah, I mean, you get older, you start to grow in your life and you start to look at different things, and like in families and stuff, my wife grows, she's more spiritual now. And then being an erotic author, people already assume certain things about you coming to the table. So that's one obstacle that's kind of hard, trying to get people to understand that that's just a small part of who I am. Whereas you start at the beginning, like, is any of this true? Is there any real connection to anything? Trying to get people not to understand that that's not a part of me or who I am, because they're quick to say some old, erotic stuff to me, and I mean, all the places that they say it is not conducive for where we be having these type of discussions. Right. I'd be like, wait a minute, but I'm with my grandbaby, or we here in church. You can't be, little kids, their parents used to send messages like, tell your teacher that and I'll be like, your mama said, tell me that in school? Like, oh, nah. So that's the biggest obstacle, being in that genre. And then I wanted to come up with different storylines, but because I had that genre going, I had to stay in there. So I had some other ideas years back of going in a new direction, maybe sci-fi, maybe Western, stuff like that. But my base is my erotica, and how much could I go away from my base and still be successful was really scary to me. So I really didn't test those waters. And I think that'll be one of those later things in life when I'm retire, sit on the beach somewhere, I'll just start writing these other things that I wanted to write back in the day under a different pseudonym probably by that time. But that's the biggest obstacle, trying to not have those lives merge over into each other. But as far as everything else, the writing is easy. Now with publishing, Amazon and all that stuff is easy there. You don't even need a company. You don't even need a warehouse. You can upload your stuff directly. That's why the book world is so saturated with so many authors coming out. That's why the movie was the next option for me.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm gonna pick your brain later on because I got four books of poetry that I need to figure out a way to put into a right perspective and see if is poetry even still a sellout there as far as people being in the poetry.
See, it's real selective with poetry. Poetry is one of those things where it takes a name to really push, or you really got to get out on the circuit with all the spoken word and all these different battles and all that type of stuff. So you can build a name. So when you release your book, that there's a traction already, because most readers want to connect to something long-term and get it going. Whereas poetry is right quick to the point, and there's so many ways you can come out. Like a lot of people put them on those laminated cards where you can just have in a frame or something like that. Other people go to writing cards for Hallmark and all that type of stuff. But I would never tell anybody that you can't make money, make money off of being a poet. It's just that you really got to get in the circuit. You really got to get out there and grind with poetry.
Gotcha. And like you said, right now, the way things are with publishing and so basically, when it comes to writing stories or books, you need a team. You really need a team to help you make it through. As far as someone to like I said, you got your English teachers, you got your spell checkers and all that. What kind of foundation is, if you gave a blueprint for just a foundation to get to writing a book?
Yeah, so back in the day, I would probably say have you a close team, because when I started, I had in-house editors that would read my stuff. I had those small reading groups that I would send manuscripts to that would give me feedback blindly, not knowing that it was me doing it. And these were just individuals I know that belonged to book clubs. Then I had a publisher, a publicist, and then I had marketing teams and all that. But then as stuff evolved, technology, like now, because I'm all on my own. Tremble Publishing is my company. I do everything myself. I have some people that's getting ready to be released under my publishing company that's going to be writing for me. And I'm just surprised that they still want to write under somebody, but they want that Tremble Presents so they can get their name out a little faster. I understand that. But you really don't need any of that, because now how much technology has, you can basically read into your computer and it types it all up for you. Yes. Then you just go into an app, and then the app translates it into the right format for printing purposes. Then you can go right to Amazon, upload it, and it can be done. So people, all they got to do is download it straight to their smartphone. So you don't even need to have a printing company, or you hit the button on Amazon and they print the book for you on demand. So if 3 people want to buy the actual book, they hit the button, it prints them, sends it to them and all that type of. So the team thing is not necessary as far as doing the project, but I always had my street team. So there were family members, close friends that as soon as a book came out, they took sets and they just hit the streets running. So it was like Jay-Z and them's philosophy back in the day, just pop open your trunk. We riding down the street, we see a cookout, we just pop the trunk open. Got books, who likes to read, stand in front of subway stations. All right, selling books. I know you need a book to read on your way. We were really pushing, like almost like if we were drug dealers back in the day where working the corner was our spot. That's how we was pumping books, like trying to get that name out. And once you got a base, your base is loyal. That's the one thing I always say about a good reading base. If they your fans, if they like what you're putting out, and you keep putting out good material, your fan base, because it takes me some years. I go into little spells, but I put it out and they be like, my Tremble is back. He got a new book. And they get on the emails and they start sending that thing out. Next thing I know, I start seeing those numbers start to go up. And I'm like, my base is a really good base to have. Yes, sir.
All right. So if there's anything you want to say to anybody who wanted to be a writer, what would you say?
I say don't listen to the critics, man, because it's always going to be somebody that's going to not agree or not like something that you're putting down. Don't let that hold you back. But don't always deal with family members or friends, because a lot of times they're not brutally honest with you. Okay. Once you do get into writing, it's just mandatory that you have somebody that understands your genre to look at your work, because like I say, even though I had editors in-house, they still had to understand that I was writing from an erotic point of view, and erotic books look a certain way that's a little different than how a textbook might look or how regular speech might go between the characters. So you got to have somebody that understands your genre when they're looking over your work. And just make sure that you are willing to put in the time, because this ain't, we're not all lucky just to put out a book and it turns into a movie or it sells as many copies. Sometimes you got to really grind. Don't let that be hesitant to stop you from really giving it your all. So everybody has a story in them. Everybody just can't put it out on paper. Sometimes you might need a ghostwriter, because I do that as well. I write stories for other people who not good at writing or not good at telling stories. I, get the information from them, ask the right questions, and then I write a story up for them. But everybody has that story in them. So if you want to be a writer, get out there, look at your genre, see what's going on in your genre, pay close attention how the wording and stuff is, and tell your story and try to be really authentic with what you're saying. Be as real as possible without it being actual real life.
Well, man, look, I want to say thank you, brother Jay Tremble, for stopping by and hanging out with us, brother Tierno Johnson. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for hanging out with me. Love you to death, boy. Look at, I like that shirt you got on. I got mine in the back. I like that shirt, girl. That's that Missouri, Arkansas. That's it, baby.
Right,
Blue
that's
all the way through.
Blue and white all the way through, baby. Hey, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for asking me to be a part of this. And man, I'm glad you're doing this. I'm glad this is something that you enjoy doing. Much success. Hopefully you can bring me back once these other books. So let me make sure I let your listeners know: Secrets of a Housewife, More Secrets, More Lies, Revenge of a Side Piece. That's my trilogy for the Secrets series. Secrets is the movie. It has Harold House Moore, Demi Moore from The Wire. We have some really big name stars up in that. That goes along with Secrets of a Housewife, Naughty Little Angel, Bedroom Gangster, My Man, Her Son, Insurance Queen, House of Sin, Toxic. These are all the books that's either out or are about to be released. So I want you to be on the lookout for that. And then whenever you start hearing those little jingles like Tink-a-Dink and all that, remember Lauren and her G-Go, that's also a spinoff from your boy. So always be looking out for that as well.
That was the one. That was the title. That was the one. One of the viewers wanted to know, what made you write Bedroom Gangster? What was the premise behind that?
So, and it's funny how I get my stories, because I can be sitting somewhere and then a news feed or something come across. So I was sitting somewhere and the news feed was going on about this couple who was burying elderly people they were supposed to been caring about in their backyard. I was like, oh man, that would be some kind of story. But my readers don't want to know about people killing old folks. But you know what? The flood just happened. How about if I make this flood put this family, this relationship between this man and woman in jeopardy, and the women and the wife pimp out her husband? Oh, that'll be a better switch for my readers, because the women, the wife is now the pimp, and the husband is being out that thing having to work these streets and make that money for his pimp. So Bedroom Gangster came out just from looking at one storyline and trying to figure out what angle could I play off that I know my readers would enjoy, plus have that spin on something that they're not used to, and it coming from a man's perspective. We always hear about these men pimps, all this negativity and all that. So you women can be pimps as well. Your pimping is just a little different than ours, but it's still pimping, and I had to write a book on that. That's right.
I was about to say, like you said, Cat Williams say, pimping.
That's right.
It's pimping. Well, yes, so man, I want to again thank you so much, my brother Blue. I tell you, love you, boy. And, we gonna holler.
All right, go Mob, Fred. Love you, boy. Keep up the good work. All right.
Aces. Yes, sir.
Ace Club, baby. All right, family. Everybody out there listening, Love you. Go get that J Tremble book, baby. Always got to promote that money, baby. Go get that book.
Peace
All
out,
right.
baby.
So.
Thank you.